With the movie having come out a few days ago as of the time of release, Borderlands is something that I really wanted to experience. I had played through Borderlands 3 and had started 2 with my cousin years ago, but we never finished. But I wanted to see where the franchise began. Originally, this was going to be a full review, but life unfortunately got in the way of me finishing the game in time. So here's my first impressions of my time with Borderlands on the PS3. The intro to this game is so good. It sets the mood for the rest of the game right away from the moment that the bus runs over a skag pup and you pick your class. For this playthrough, I chose Roland because I'm definitely more of a shooter character, and I really liked his turret ability. After the intro is said and done, I will admit that the game's tutorial section feels incredibly slow in comparison to the high energy of the opening cutscene, as funny as Claptrap can be. The other thing that becomes incredibly obvious right in the beginning is just how purely fun the characters are, and how funny this game can be sometimes. One of the first bosses you fight is named Nine Toes, and his tagline before the fight is that he also has 3 balls, which has no right to be as funny as it is. Even the people that give you the missions are funny, and each has a really interesting personality to them. When it comes to combat, I enjoyed that each type of gun felt super different to shoot and really had an impact on the gameplay. There are so many FPSs out there that no matter what gun you choose, they all feel exactly the same, so I appreciate that this game actually made me want to switch weapons for different situations and try out all of the classes the game had to offer. I particularly loved the repeater pistols, as taking down skags with 1 or 2 shots in the head felt super gratifying and felt like the guns in the game had real power to them. As much as the vehicles are super fun and interesting, the controls to drive them for some reason do not vibe with me. I just can't get my head around it and find myself constantly having to go slower to think about how I'm driving instead of being able to do it effortlessly like most games. I don't understand why it couldn't be the normal L2, R2 controls almost every single other game uses. I also wasn't the biggest fan of the lock-on system with the turret on the vehicles. I know that this game is primarily made for 2 players, so maybe it's different then, but at least playing it solo, I really feel like my machine gun wasn't actually hitting anything, even if it was locked onto a target and pointing directly at them. It was, however, fun to run over enemies in the car, and I loved that there was a trophy associated with it too. Aside from that, I felt like some of the traversal between missions was a little empty, which I get since Pandora is a wasteland and all, but at least in the opening areas like Skag Gully and Firestone, there isn't a whole lot to explore between points A and B. This might get better as the game goes on though, and I can't wait to find out for myself if it does, but at least in my time, I felt like there wasn't much beyond the main missions to go into the open world. In the end, I'm only a fraction of my way through the game, being only around 6 hours in. I'm really enjoying my time with the game so far, and I'm excited to keep playing and experience more of what the original Borderlands had to offer. Knowing where the franchise has gone from here makes me all the more excited to finally finish where it all started. What's your favorite part of Borderlands? Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe while you're down there. Thanks for watching!